Friends, snakes are one of the most common and poisonous things. Friends, some of its types are dangerous, and some are the most dangerous friends. Let me tell you about 10 such dangerous snakes that are found in this world. So let's start the video. The venom of the Inland Taipan is so deadly that one bite is enough to kill 100 men. It paralyzes the victim's muscles and affects breathing. Its venom also has hemolytic properties, meaning it damages and breaks down red blood cells. When they attack, Inland Taipans move quickly with several attacks. Because of their ferocity, fire snake, they have earned the nickname. Once bitten, victims will experience headaches, nausea, abdominal pain, and other unpleasant symptoms. Immediate medical attention is required to prevent fatalities. Despite being the most venomous, they are not the deadliest snakes, as they rarely come into contact with humans, as they live in remote bushlands in Australia. Since the creation of anti-venom in 1955, no deaths have been recorded. There have been no recorded deaths since the creation of the anti-venom in 1955. Living in shallow reefs along the western coasts of Australia, the Dubois sea snake is the second most venomous snake in the world and the most venomous sea snake overall. It preys upon fish and eels, as well as small invertebrates that live on the ocean floor. In general, the Dubois sea snake has quite a docile nature, but it will attack if provoked. Interestingly, this snake's fangs are relatively short compared to other snakes, measuring just under 2 millimeters long. It is a crepuscular species, so it is most active at dusk and dawn. Eastern brown snakes are found across the east coast of Australia and are the second most venomous terrestrial snake in the world. They belong to the Pseudonaga genus and live in grasslands, woodlands, as well as urban areas. These fast-moving snakes are diurnal, but when the weather's warm, they may become nocturnal to avoid the heat. It has been reported having cobra-like behaviors. When threatened, it will rise up off the ground, coil its neck, and open its mouth in a fearsome display. The venom of the eastern brown snake can cause convulsions, renal failure, paralysis, and cardiac arrest. If someone is suspected to have been bitten by an eastern brown snake, it is recommended that they remain as still as possible to limit venom spread. These fascinating sea snakes can be found swimming in the open ocean, hundreds of miles from the coast. They occupy waters along the shores of eastern Africa, northern Australia, southern Asia, and the western side of Mexico. As their name states, their bellies, the lower half of their bodies, are bright yellow, while the upper half of their bodies are black. Their tails have a spotted black and yellow pattern which, fortunately for humans, makes them easy to spot in the water. Yellow-bellied sea snakes can dive and remain underwater for over an hour. It hunts fish, paralyzing them with its venom and consuming them head first. This species appears to have few natural predators. This species, O. temporalis, was first encountered in the mountain ranges of Australia. Compared to other taipans, this species has been less studied by researchers. If bitten, a human can succumb to the venom within hours if medical attention is not given. The Perilous sea snake is commonly known as the horned sea snake or the spiny-headed sea snake. The IUCN has it listed as a species of least concern, and populations are stable. And habitat loss are their biggest threats. These spiky reptiles dwell along the southern coasts of Australia, as well as in Indonesia and southern China. Strong swimmers, they can dive to depths of up to 60 meters. Kraits are closely related to sea snakes and cobras and can be found in China and Southeast Asia. They produce neurotoxic venoms that damage neurons and induce paralysis. Banded kraits reside in warm, shallow waters, coral reefs, and mangrove swamps. They are often seen hunting eels. Female kraits are usually larger than their male partners, and so, generally, target more substantial prey. The banded krait is armed with venom that is 10 times more lethal than a rattlesnake's. Bite victims merely feel slightly itchy and numb before more severe, broader symptoms such as struggling for breath can arise. Luckily, attacks on humans are rare. The coastal taipan, Oxyuranus scutulatus, is the last species of snake that makes up the 3 genera of taipans. It is the largest snake belonging to the Elapidae family, a group of approximately 300 snakes that have short fangs on their upper jaw. They can be found across coastal regions of northern and eastern Australia and the island of New Guinea. The coastal taipan is the 3rd most venomous terrestrial snake in the world and has a high level of notoriety in Australia and is generally more feared than any other snake. The black-banded sea krait is most often found in temperate latitudes in the Indian and Western Pacific Oceans. They prefer to inhabit coral reefs. Compared to sea snakes, banded kraits tend to spend more time on land. They will come ashore to nest, feed, and shed their skin. Exceptionally skilled at hunting, these snakes can hold their breath for long periods of time. Their potent venom attacks the human nervous system and can lead to convulsions, paralysis, cardiac failure, and death.
The beaked sea snake, Enhydrina schistosa, is a medium-sized snake that grows up to an average of 4 feet in length. Like the many-banded krait, females are larger than males.
They are one of the most common sea snakes found along the coast of India, the Arabian Sea, Persian Gulf, and seas around South Asia. Their nostrils are located on the surface of their snouts and can be voluntarily closed when the snake is beneath the surface. Eastern brown snakes are found across the east coast of Australia and are the 2nd most venomous terrestrial snake in the world. They belong to the Pseudonaga genus and live in grasslands, woodlands, as well as urban areas. These fast-moving snakes are diurnal, but when the weather's warm, they may become nocturnal to avoid the heat. It has been reported having cobra-like behaviors. When threatened, it will rise up off the ground, coil its neck, and open its mouth in a fearsome display. The venom of the eastern brown snake can cause convulsions, renal failure, paralysis, and cardiac arrest. If someone is suspected to have been bitten by an eastern brown snake, it is recommended that they remain as still as possible to limit venom spread.